All right. All right. Sitting down here with Sonny Elias, the owner and founder of Vale Food Co. Just to start, what made you decide to open up your own business?
I pretty much saw that there was a need in the market, especially with how hard it was in undergrad to eat healthy. It was just wasn't convenient. You always had to go far away in Tallahassee, and I saw that it was a struggle amongst my peers. So I decided fill that void in the market.
Okay. Cool. Who or what would you say was your inspiration, for starting the
I
business?
think it was a combination of kind of what I just said, and then also with my interest in nutrition. It really just all combined to kind of, really give it a shot, and really fill that void because I didn't think that there was anything out there that was like my business.
Okay. How did you decide on the legal business structure of your company? So either proprietorship, LLC, or corporation. How did you go
Um,
about
I pretty much, from being a small business, I looked at what was, the best, situation for me. LLC just happened to make the most sense for where I was,
that?
as far as from like, business and personal protection wise. So that's why I went with LLC.
Now going into like your business plan, like from the beginning, how much time, money, and planning did it take before you decided to open the business?
Definitely, months and months of time, 12-hour days, and just really, I would say almost about, half my day every single day for months on end and just planning wise and preparing. But, and same thing with money, just, using, personal savings.
Okay. How is it that you came about finding a location, whether it be your office or like the location where you started your business?
Really is through just, I've been in Tallahassee now for about 6 years and just reaching out to my network and interacting with, people who kind of, help, meet people in the restaurant industry. We established a commercial kitchen on Monroe Street
Mhm.
and, that was the team because, I knew people in Tallahassee.
You said where was it that again that you said
It's
you
on Monroe
the
Street.
kitchen? Okay, cool. So in terms of like financials, how did you go about like your startup with your capital? Like, how did you obtain that
It,
capital?
well, being young, you have a lot of disadvantages in your corner, but I pretty much went to the bank, talked to the bank manager about it. A good friend put in a reference for me, and I was able to secure a working capital line of credit with Capital City Bank, and then also through a family friend, reaching out to them, getting a private loan.
Okay. Um, to who or how or what did you use or when and where did you start advertising? Like, how did you go about like deciding like your advertising plan? Like, who are you going to who are you going to target, or in what manner you're going to do so?
Well, I pretty much, with being a young business owner and attacking, a college market and the working professional market, I decided that what would appeal to someone like myself, and then someone like my peers. And the college market is primarily pursued with advertising on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, now Snapchat, Pinterest, all these different platforms, and being active on there to reach them. And as far as the working professionals and other people in Tallahassee, we go through, with physical flyering, banner advertisements, and really just partnering up with local businesses.
Okay, okay. You mentioned a couple of things I was going to ask you later, but I guess what I want to ask is how from when you started advertising, started like when you first started the company, how has that advertising then changed to as how you advertise now? Anyways.
Well, I would say when I first started, it was much more like, shooting in the dark and not really understanding where time needed to be spent or money needed to be spent in the advertising world. I think the biggest, measure that any business should look for is seeing how they can track their return on their investment on the advertisement. And that's what I've been able to kind of switch towards. And if I'm going and pursuing any kind of advertising, I want to see how I can track the effectiveness of it to know whether or not to pursue it in the future.
Um, Next question is, does your company have a website? And if so, what made you decide to start that website?
Especially as a healthy meal plan delivery business, and having a commercial kitchen that we use but not a so-called storefront. Our website serves as our digital storefront, and putting that time and energy into it. www.valefoodco.com. Essentially having that be as professional as possible will only pay off, in the long haul, and has showed that with our clients, with creating a checkout process that's really easy for them to get from point A to point B.
Could you just walk us through what are the licensing requirements for your business?
Well, you definitely need to be compliant on a city, state, and federal level as far as being registered as a business and getting the licenses for those. From a food service side, you have to have a Safe Serve Kitchen Manager certification, which I have and all my chefs have on staff. And we were also able to obtain, the Department of Business Regulation, food service licenses for restaurant and catering. So making sure that you're compliant on a, state of Florida, level, city, and federal level is what we were able to do.
In terms of technology, like IT, do you use any like IT resources to help your business at all?
Well, kind of going into the website, we definitely invested into the website. Where incorporating technology that's going to help pretty much streamline the operation in our businesses, and that's where we really invest in some using some top-notch programmers to build proprietary client management system that's catered towards our business. So we use that, and then really any other programs with collaboration online with our managers we use. But technology definitely is very important to us, and innovating as a company with using.
Okay. How would you say that your company handles internal or external theft?
Well, the internal theft is kept to it's almost very hard because we are such a small team, and the best way that we handle it is that we have cameras, and we make sure that that we're watching that, and whoever we bring into the operation, we check their references, and we make sure that everyone from top to bottom understands that theft isn't tolerated. And thankfully, we haven't had any problems with theft. External theft wise, we've had some situations where someone's meals will get stolen.
Yeah.
It just happens to be we got some crazy bums in Tallahassee, or just terrible people who steal people's food. But essentially, if that happens, what we'll do is reach out to the client and figure out a solution to a better drop off for their spot, and to make sure that they're getting their meals that they ordered in all of its integrity.
What would you say is the most important quality that you look for in an employee?
I think it would have to be honesty and passion. And I picked two because honesty is important, because you need to have that in the communication. You don't want to, have, a team of people who aren't being honest with you, and that that, isn't on the same page as everyone. So honesty is extremely important, and then passion is important because you want people to be happy coming to work. If someone's coming to work and it's always looked at in a negative light, they're not passionate about what they do, they're never going to give you their 100%. But if you can bring that out in them and hire people who really care about the work that they do, I see that's like one of the best traits.
How many different positions are there in your business for one to apply for? So like how many positions does your business hold?
Well, we're expanding on our positions as we grow, but primarily, we have delivery manager, delivery drivers, we have prep chefs, sous chefs, head chefs, and then we have a little bit more on the client management side as an administrative assistant, and and a head of marketing. So those are all the positions as of now.
How do you go about evaluating your employees and their performance?
We do 90-day evaluations with everyone, making sure that everyone is not only growing as a professional in our business, but also making sure that they're keeping up to the company standards. So we do 90-day evaluations with everyone, and that's also ways that we can gauge performance and give out rewards as well.
Yeah. And on the topic of rewards or in that nature, what incentives do you offer your employees or people that are part of your business?
We have bonuses for, weeks that we have, really good service, for our clients, like if all the delivery drivers, are hitting certain times of their deliveries. And if they're not making any kind of mistakes with, dropping off to any kind of wrong addresses, we make sure to take care of our people. And at the end of the day, that's what it really comes down to. If the chef team's having a really good week, if everyone's clicking, make sure, saying, hey, I really appreciate the hard work, and giving bonuses out to make everyone just, extra motivated to keep on working hard.
How would you say owning a business has impacted your relationship with your family?
Well, I'm still in Tallahassee, so my family's in South Florida, and it's definitely been a little bit of a friction in regards to having a actual family life. But at the end of the day, thanks to the technology, I've been able to keep in touch as regularly as possible. And I've made it an important value to make sure that I'm staying up to date with everyone. Not only family but friends.
Not much more left. Hold on 1 second. Prior to starting this business, what was your professional background in motion?
Well, it was. I mean, it varied in a few things. Nutrition has always been, my personal, favorite. I've read a lot of books on nutrition. I've worked for an organic supplement company, Jarl Formulas, and really, I've worked in restaurants since I was 14. So it's kind of combining all of those passions into one, and or work experiences into one, and creating the business. And the food side with the nutrition is really what kind of made everything happen and gave me the confidence to do so.
Cool. Last question. Walk us through, just tell me a little bit about your day-to-day responsibilities.
My day-to-day responsibilities change every day, whether it's going in, checking up on the team, or it's making sure that we have enough product in the house. We have it depends on the day, but I'll have meetings with either my managers or with the chefs, with food service providers. So that's probably one of the most exciting things about what I do, is that it changes every day. And but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Well, that's all I got for you. I really appreciate you sitting down with me and doing this interview.
Yeah, not a problem at all, Drew.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
All right.